1,550 videos. Most of the other ones are a lot more clear than this. I just use this live format because I can set it up real quick and it's easy to do. And this is kind of just about giving you guys freebies. So what I want to talk about today is, and I'm talking about little pieces of the guitar ladder system. If you really want to take a quantum leap, if you want to wake up the artist within, wake up the composer within, wake up that musical ear or musical mind, I would suggest you invest in 199, and that's last year's price. I'm doing a few more at the 199 price, but anyway, it's going up to 299. But anyway, let's get to some more free instructions. So the important thing to understand about learning guitar and music is, you really need to have a lot of experience. It takes years and years and years to come up with a great system. It took me probably close to 40 years, and a lot of people just haven't put in the time. That's not an ego trip on my part. I give most of the credit to God, the universe, whatever you want to call it. I've worked my ass off, folks. I have. I used to practice 12, 13 hours a day when I was a young man. I took from Joe Pass, Horace Hatchett, Ted Green, a bunch of people. Everybody took from Ted Green, even a lot of great players that were close went and took some from Ted. And Ted and I had an interesting time impressing each other, and the guy was deep, man. Anyway, so let's talk a little bit about major 7 chords. I want to talk about every chord has a direction, has a purpose, different places it can go. When I studied with Joe Pass, he used to always say, things he said to me over 40 years ago, I'm still thinking about. He'd say, simplify your thinking, but he said when he thought of a chord, he automatically thought of many other chords that would go with it, and it's that thought, that kind of the language of music, thinking of. It's like when you think of saying something to somebody, you don't just think of one word like hi, if you're meeting somebody's out and about and you have something you want to say or share, you have a whole sentence. It's kind of the same thing with music. So let's talk about major 7 chords, and or I should really say let's talk about high tension chords and low tension chords. I'll stick to major 7 for now. But here's a major 7 form. It's a high tension, right? High tension means it demands resolution. So that, and it resolved to a low tension major 7. So a low tension one, you can stay there all day, right? Woke up in the morning, I was feeling fine. I had a cheeseburger on my mind. I want a burger. I know, silly example, right? Whereas a high tension form demands resolution. Now here's a very high tension major 7 form. Kind of a bear to do, right? See that by itself sounds very tense. Then it has a direction, see, it wants to resolve. And that's what's so powerful about the guitar ladder system is you learn, thousands of ways to resolve chords, and you begin to build this vocabulary, and you get to a point where you can just play up and down your guitar, beautiful chordal work. Chordal stuff that sounds really good, has smooth voice leading, integrates 10 systems of improvisation like chromatic, intervallic, symmetry, diatonic, flat 5, sub, contrary, motion, chromatic, etc., common tone. And all that is integrated into my system where you don't have to think about it. And even Joe Pass used to say, simplify your thinking. The guy was onto something. Whether you like Joe Pass or not, he went down in history as one of the greatest, 2 or 3 guitar players ever, along with Les Montgomery and people like that. Charlie Christian. Anyway, so, with chords, every chord has a direction. There's high tension chords, low tension chords. And with every chord, you want to exhaust the possibilities. And that's what the guitar ladder system does. It gives you those tools, like cycle 8. See, with cycle 8, you're learning, so we have this. Another major 7 form, another major 7 form to a half diminished or minor 7 flat 5, another major 7. It's by exposing your ear to this stuff on a constant basis that you just have a quantum leap. A lot of people have bought my guitar system that have master's degrees in music, but they never learned to improvise. A lot of people have purchased my system, have been playing for 30 years, but they've never really had a system to really open up your musical ear. And a lot of great players have bought my system, and it's geared for intermediate and advanced. If you're a beginning player, it can also be very effective as long as you have the strength, like to maybe do a bar chord. Because it's not any harder to do like cycle 1, right, than something like this. It's not any more difficult than being down here and doing something simple down there. So anyway, every chord has a direction, and you'll find as you learn more chords that you learn how to use them and some of the directions they can go in. As an example, if you take a major 7 form like this, okay, let's do it here. Well, let's do it here. Now this form, I'm playing a D major 7. It's an inversion, right? Now if I was doing a 1, 6, 2, 5, this is a D, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 would be a B, so, okay, so I could do that. And then the 2 in D would be 2 to 5, right? But how about if we do a flat 5 sub? So as opposed to doing the B, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 from B, so you do a, you take the F sharp and come down to an F. So now you have this. Here's a flat 5 sub, and see now what's nice if you get some contrary motion. See, the bass goes down while the treble goes up. See, this goes up, this goes down. So now you get some beautiful contrary motion, which makes it sound more musical, folks. It's that simple. It makes it, all these 10 systems of improvisation make your playing more musical, more smooth. You're still using the ideas, but you're using them in a musical, smooth way, more buttery. Okay, so now, hear that? It has, it's kind of, crosses over, and that just sounds cool, man. And then that I can go like that, So every chord, I could take. This is the whole idea behind the guitar that I could come. Hear that? You need to exhaust these possibilities, and you're going to have tremendous growth. I mean, not kidding, folks. I've sold over 3,600 guitar ladder courses, and I get emails every day from people who they're surprised at the progress they're making. Everybody's on a different timeline, though. One guy had progress in a week where he started hearing his ideas, and he emailed me saying he found it on his grandma's guitar. Some people, they have that kind of, peak state in a few months. It just depends on you. But the most important thing, I know this sounds kind of zen-like, is don't worry about results. Just get into the moment. Be in the moment. Start working on some guitar instruction material that's been really, really well thought out, folks. If you knew how much hard work I put into this, it would blow your mind. But it's a passion to me. Every day I do this. Every day I think of new ways to use chords. Here's another example. You take a major 13 form. That resolves nicely 7 sharp 9, right? Sharp 5 sharp 9, okay? I know I was talking about the major 7 chords a little bit, and like I said, every chord has a direction that you can move with it, okay? And it's by exhausting those possibilities that you're going to have a lot of growth. If all you ever play, and we all get in ruts. It's nothing to feel bad about. And the more talent you have, the more the guitar ladder system will help you. And the less talent you have, the more it will help you. Seriously. I've had students who've done my guitar ladder system who had hardly any natural talent. But they just put their ego on the back burner. They did my studies. They didn't overanalyze it. They just kind of humbly did the studies. They had some absolutely huge, huge growth. I mean, just unbelievable growth in terms of becoming a composer, getting all up and down the neck. I mean, growth that would have probably taken like 6, 7, 8 years. I'm not kidding. I'm not making this up. I'm not just being a salesman here. I know I'm a little bit of a salesman, but I've got the goods to back it up, folks. The guitar ladder system is the real deal. It's not bullshit. It works. It really works. And sometimes you'll even just run into a standard. Like you'll be messing around the guitar. You'll run into a standard because you're hearing different ways chords can go. Another cool example of contrary motion would be like a form like this. I got a root, a flat 7, a 9, an 11, and a 13. So it's a 13 form, but I'm playing that 13 on the side of this finger here, and that resolves to a bichord, okay? And that could come. So see, that's some beautiful contrary motion. Hear that? And then the contrary motion continues. You can continue one more time. I could do that. So the idea, I'm just trying to share here, every chord has a direction. Every chord has many different directions. And every chord is part of a system of many different possibilities and progressions and ways to create mood and ways to create color, intention, and resolution. You need to exhaust those possibilities to wake up your musical mind, wake up the composer within, And it's a great process. You just need to get into the here and now. If you spend an hour a day on the guitar ladder system, you're going to make some huge growth. But again, don't worry about the results. Just get into it on a day-by-day basis. I've got a few more I'm doing at last year's price, $199. The new price is $299. Email me for samples, polkzoo, polkzoo, polkzoo@gmail.com. Really like to have a phone number. I'm not going to call you and high pressure you, but I've got some great stories to share, and I'm going to give you a chance to ask me questions. And I can really explain the guitar ladder system much better on a phone call, and just make sure it's a good fit for you and a good fit for me. And everybody who's called has really appreciated the phone call, because the information I can share will really help you wrap your head around the guitar ladder system. It's not the easiest thing in the world to explain, because true art kind of transcends definition. But I've come up with a way to explain it, and more importantly, a way to teach music and teach guitar that works, because all the 10 systems of improvisation are built into my chordal studies. You know, everything from partials to, like I said, diatonic ideas. But it really works. Anyway, I just wanted to add that a little I try to do a little bit of a freebies every day. And if you want to hear some of my original music, go to Steve Zook 1. I think it's stevezook1.bandcamp.com. Yeah, stevezook1, the number 1.bandcamp.com. Check it out. But yeah, folks, if you love guitar, you love music, I mean, you got to be honest with yourself. You got to set some goals. And if you're feeling like you're a little stuck, or you just want to progress, or you want to learn how to compose and improvise, first be positive about that. Don't be too hard on yourself. I mean, it's a day-by-day process. I still every day try to learn something new. And if you want to read the review of my CD, go to vintageguitar.com, put in Steve Zook. The great writer, Mr. Stephen Stone, called me a prodigious composer and player. I really appreciate that. And Stephen Stone's a sharp guy. I know, I'm not trying to brag, but I'm trying to get credibility here. I'm trying to let people know I know what I'm doing. And the benefit is huge for you, because you can get thousands and thousands of dollars of value out of this program. So every chord has a direction. When you learn how to put chords together in beautiful ways using those different 10 systems of improvisation, you begin to get kind of a palette. You begin to get your musical tool chest together, and then you can take those tools and create. It's an exciting thing, folks. So anyway, I'm going to stop right there, and we'll catch you on the next video. This is for sale too. This is an unbelievable LH3. Listen to the tone. Hear that? Really has a sound. Okay, take care. Let's all keep the faith. Let's stay positive, and do your work. Try, make an effort, be positive. Trust the universe, and leave the results to the universe. But still do your work. Doesn't mean you can just lay around and do nothing all day. All right, folks, take care. Feel free to call me, 714-548-0385. Love to talk about the guitar ladder system. I'm not going to pressure you to buy it. I want you to understand the value of it, though. Maybe share a couple. I've got some unbelievable stories that are true I can share with you, people that just had quantum leaps. It really bordered on supernatural. It was almost kind of scary, some of the results I've seen. But when you do the right material, and you feed your subconscious mind, you feed your musical ear, it begins to open up. It's just an amazing thing. All right, folks, take care. Bye-bye.